Good morning, one and all, and welcome back to Red's Homestead. Whew, we are gonna need to go to the feed store today. I just noticed we got about one more day of layer feed left. And honestly, I need to start talking to them a little bit more about the bulk shipment for starter feed, because our chickens are coming in 3 weeks or so. The 50 meat birds. We gotta get this stuff ordered. And our corn's falling over.
Yeah, look at my pumpkins.
Your pumpkins are looking good. Always trying something new. We're going pumpkins this year. We're a little late. We might have miniature pumpkins.
Well, no, I'm gonna have early pumpkins and late pumpkins.
Early pumpkins and late pumpkins, but not pumpkins that are right on time for Halloween.
Maybe.
We're gonna be letting up the cats now and hoping that they don't just leave us entirely. Fingers crossed. They have been in here. How long have they been in here? Been a week?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. So we got them 2 weeks ago. We built this thing about a week ago, but in total they've been in this barn for about 2 weeks. We have to get more cat food. It's gonna be an expensive day at the feed store. So hopefully they continue to look at this place as home. I think we'll set up a trail cam.
Oh,
Yeah, so we're gonna probably set up, let's see. Yeah, we'll probably set up a trail cam on this post facing the door to see if they just run straight into the woods and never come back, or if they come back and eat, or come back and attack our birds or something. Hopefully not. Then we'll have a whole different problem. Let's see if they let me pet them. Good girl. There you go. Yeah. Woo. Okay. More than I thought I was gonna get. So I am slowly walking away, keeping the camera on the cats to see if they're gonna actually come out while we're not here. And if they're gonna dart for it or not. All right, so I'm gonna completely hide so I have no idea what's going on now. So hopefully today is gonna be a day without rain. It's supposed to be, so that I can do a little bit of mowing. And that's the one thing that's nice about having animals, is the more animals you have, the less mowing you have to do. I'll show you an example. This right here is really the only area that we have to actually mow. This and then kind of way down there near the street to make that look pretty, we mow that. But this is really the only area that we have to do. Now when I have chickens out here in a few weeks, I'm not gonna have to do that at all. I just have to make sure the fence stays nice and grounded. So on this side, where we have the rabbit tractor, I have yet to mow this once. Not once since we had the litter 8, oh, these are more than that, they're almost 10 weeks now. Nothing, never had to mow it, because I just rotate them. They mow it for me. So when you think about it, once I get those chickens in, only thing I'm gonna have to mow is a little tiny area at the front, near the road. That's it. Well, it would appear that they finally came out. Still skittish and staring at me, so maybe just let them have that side of the property. Heading out, looking at the woods. Hopefully they stay together. So I'm looking forward to this morning's breakfast. What I did is I shaved up a few of the potatoes. I'm gonna make some hash browns. So what we have here, I've got some shredded potatoes, and what I do is when you shave them down, they get really starchy. So I wash and rinse them a bunch of times until the water looks clear again, and then I'll dry them off here so that they're ready for the frying pan. Then I cut up 2 different peppers. We have like a regular bell, then a sweeter lunchbox banana pepper, chopped up an onion and garlic, all going into one mix. Tell you one thing that I've learned from doing this, eating only what I grow for a week, is how much I need a pig. Because the wife and kids were eating bacon this morning. I really wanted some bacon. So this is prepped over easy eggs so that when you puncture that, you get all the yolk all on your hash browns. I'm gonna be eating good. Now I'm not gonna be entirely selfish with this meal. Chickens get a little bit of something too. You know, something I was thinking about earlier is just how naive some people are on where their food comes from. It's like, I know we've all seen those like silly comments on, which one? I saw one that was, someone was posting about their chicken that they were raising and butchering, and then someone online said, well, why would you do something so evil and cruel like that when you can go to Kroger and just get one from the freezer? What? I'm pretty sure none of you have that kind of mindset, but that's just kind of the far side of how some people have no idea where meat comes from. And I'm gonna work and talk here. I've got to tighten up this shade cloth. It's starting to droop extremely low now, so I got to get that fixed. The wind keeps catching it big time, but I've even had a couple comments, I don't think on YouTube that I could think of. I think it was more Facebook, of poor chickens and things like that, when I was posting about how I was butchering, raising my own meat thing, and a lot of people were not for that. Now, if you were a vegan, then at least that I can understand. Then it's just a set of principles that you have against all animals, and you have no desire to have any kind of meat and no desire to have anyone else have any kind of meat. I get that. You know, I can actually understand that. I don't agree with it. I will never live that lifestyle, but it's something I can at least understand. But what I can't understand about them believing that as well, they hate the homestead and general lifestyle from it, but say nothing about the mass agricultural commercial farming for all the vegetables that they're eating, that it's just completely destructive. So when you think about like large-scale commercial farmings, when they cut and slash areas for thousands of acres, just think about everything that it did to the ecosystem that used to be there. Or if it's just a long-standing cornfield, thousands of acres of cornfield, every time you take that combine through, destructive. Not just destructive to the animals living there, but they're practically destroying the earth that they're growing on. And then back to the actual buying of food, and why, you do it right, your homestead food is a lot healthier than anything you can buy at the store. A lot of times you can't even trust organic unless you have visited that farm and have seen firsthand how they grow. There's a lot of ways to become organic and not truly be an organic farmer. There we go. Now I could actually walk underneath it easily instead of being about 4 feet off the ground. it's nice and tightened once more, at least until the next windstorm that we get. Hopefully that keeps it up and running. So those individuals that really want to kind of beat you down when you're trying to have a healthier, sustainable living, it's not much sometimes you can say. All I do is try to educate a little bit about what I am doing, why every animal that I have has their happiest life that I can possibly give them up till the last 3 seconds, and how every single thing that I grow in this garden is also returning nutrients into the garden. And for example, so I have these Romas that I've talked about that are just dying off, and I was going to replace with some starters, and I still have those, but I may be able to save them too, because I take the comfrey that I have growing on that side, and I can just lay them down right here, and it's a slow release fertilizer, but over time, nutrients will go back into that soil that the tomatoes are taking out to grow their fruit. So doing a regenerative agricultural, regenerative farming is a healthy way, planet-wise, and for your body, to keep sustaining yourself with, nutrition, even though this one's not a good example. This one's going to the chickens. It's a little squishy. Too much water. We've had so much rain, and oh, look at that. I got a little friend there deciding to eat some. Well, now the chicken's gonna eat it. Circle of life. So although each bed is technically different on how we built them up, one is completely topsoil sitting on top of clay. The other one is topsoil sitting on top of cardboard, sitting on top of clay. And then this one, it's about a 1 foot raised bed of all topsoil. So it's 3 different methods of how it's gonna work best, but each one is gonna be healthy for the future of the soil of this area. Not too bad for today's. Today's mostly a tomatoes and a jalapenos harvest. Something else that I found lacking of this whole diet that I'm doing is sweets. My fruits, I have a couple blackberries, but this is their first year. They're still getting established, so I'm barely getting anything. Next year I expect a whole lot. And then we have some plums and things like that that's also in their first year, or figs that are in their first year. So we're not gonna get anything yet. So what we're gonna do is take these jalapenos, make something called cowboy candy. At least Shannon's going to show me what she's gonna do. Hopefully that's deep enough. We're gonna be transplanting our strawberries. You can see that they're starting to send quite a few runners out. And just being limited to this space right here, pollinators are not getting into the blossoms on the inside, all the blooms. So we're not getting strawberries. So we're gonna go ahead and replant it in this bed where it has a decent amount of shade. And hopefully it can spread a little bit and we can start getting some more strawberries. Strawberry plant is done. And we're gonna do that old method that you see on Facebook probably, is we're gonna paint some rocks red and put them down there because our bird feeder is right there.
But I haven't been filling it in a while.
Yeah, we haven't been filling it. And hopefully the final bit of planting, at least for the day, is I'm gonna get these loquats right here that have outgrown their little 1/2 gallon, 1 gallon pots. I'm gonna upgrade them into these 5 gallons. There we go. That's all she wrote. Putting them side by side, you can tell the obvious differences in sizes. Those right here was started in the 5 gallon pots. These are the ones I just transplanted. And it's the same on this side. You've got the ones that was started and the one I just transplanted. So hopefully these right here will grow up to look like its brother. And this is our whole fruit area. We've got our fig tree, a key lime, and calamundia to go with my loquats.